Hello, all. Welcome to the session. In the previous session, we have seen some basics of ActiveX controls. In this session, we'll use the ActiveX controls and we'll create our own tool. We'll create a UI part of our tool. So let's get back to the sheet. So you can see this is what we have used it in the previous session. Here, let's create our own tool. So let me okay. So this is a label. Let's delete it first. Like let's create edit box. We'll name it as first name, and rest all is fine. We'll copy this for, and we'll make it as, so we can change the name from here as well. We'll make it as last name. Then we'll add a radio button. We'll say if it's a male or female. Male. And let me just make it small. Let me copy it, paste it over here. One for female. Female. Then we'll have a checkbox. Let's say is eligible. We'll say here caption as is eligible for, is eligible, should be fine. Then we'll have a comment section. We'll again add a text box. We'll say this as properties. We'll put it as comments. Okay, actual comments. So the comments can't be a name. We'll say actual comments. Then we'll create say a drop down, which would be a ratings. So let's create a ratings site over here. Ratings 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's put it here as the range starts from R2 to R6. The range as R2 to R6. Then now enter the labels. The label caption 1 would be is first name. Then we'll say, okay, sorry. Let's copy it for the last name as well. The properties section. Here we'll come and we'll say last name. We'll paste it again for the ratings. Ratings. And then we'll again paste it over here. We'll say it as comments. And we'll also have one more thing. We'll have a checkbox, or we have a radio button, which will say any improvements, if yes or no. Yes. Improve. Yes. And then if I just copy, okay, but before that, let me update it. You can change the property for this as well. So it's like it's no, impro, no. And we'll what we want is we'll say if before that let me give over here any improvements in this for this session. So like let's make it big because it is not fitting up here. Oh, wait for this. Okay. And what we'll do is if it is selected as yes, we'll need one more edit box which will give you a free text to add any comments. We'll call it as improvements. Okay. And then we'll have a submit button. So you can see we just have created a page. But after this, what we want is we want to save this data in another sheet called as data from ActiveX. Okay, so we'll say here as first name, then the last name, the sex, and then we'll say if it is is eligible. Then we have the ratings. Oh, sorry for that spelling mistake. Ratings, and then the comments, and then improvements if any. Okay, so we'll try to capture it every time when someone logs it. So what we want to do is on click event of this submit survey button, we want to gather all this data and paste it in this data from ActiveX sheet. What we'll do is we'll just click on this and we'll say if clicked on this, what we want is we want to save this first name in A2 of this particular sheet. We'll say sheets data from ActiveX dot range A2 dot value is equals to dot. So you can see here we have dot value option. So the object dot value. Next what we want is in B2 we want the last name. Let's take it directly, paste it over here. Let's have few selections. Like let's paste it for multiple times. Then the last name, it'll be in B2. Then the male or female. If this is selected, then we wish to write it as male, and if this is selected, we wish to write it as female. So what we will do is we'll copy this name. If this dot value is equals to true, then we'll write it as male. Oh, sorry, male in C2. Else if it is female, then we'll write female. Else we'll say selection not made. Okay. Next is ratings. Comment box 1. It will be in D. Uh-oh. Where was this rating? Ratings was in E. We'll have that is eligible checkbox in column D. Next, we have any extra comments, actual comments as in EF. And next is it says like if this is checked, we'll use this itself. If this impro yes is checked or impro yes is selected, will what we want is we want this particular option to be eligible, or so what we can do is we can just double click on it. If this was clicked, then this improvements section will be visible, dot visible equals to true. Otherwise, if the other one is selected, it will be false. So the same thing, dot value, and then improve no have been, if this have been selected, then no improvements, and then the no selection. It will be in EF G section, G section. And I guess that's all we have. Yeah, till G. And we'll have a message box saying done. Let's try to run this. You can see if I select it, it is visible. If I select this, this is gone. So this is how you can design. The name would be Omkar. Desai. I'll sell mail. It was eligible. The rating was 5. Good session. Improvements. No. Let's submit a survey. You can see all these things have been recorded. If you wish to get the second survey in the next cell, what you can do is you can use the last row property of this particular sheet by using like the element will be dot cells dot rows dot count. Will count the rows from A and will come as end excel up dot row plus 1. We'll name it as X, and here instead of directly using it as A2, we'll use it as A and X. So that's just done. Like, let me click again the same details. You can see it will appear in the next session. If I update anything over here, it will appear in the next session, the next row. So you can do one more thing. You can like once all these details have been saved, you can clear these values and start a fresh session for the next selection. So that you can do. So this is how you can create a form, create a user form, or sorry, create an ActiveX form using these ActiveX details. So that's all I have for this particular video. In the next video, we'll see the user forms. Till then, thank you.